You guys got it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at is let's ignore the non-probability sampling because it's not as good as probability sampling. So let's just focus on the probability sampling. So you'll see I'm putting in that stuff right there in the Google Doc. Oh, that's not what I want.
All right, guys, since I'm the only mom in the group, where's your dates for tonight?
I'm having a bro date with my roommates.
Well, that works too.
What are you doing, Landon?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Hello?
Landon, you don't got a girl?
Nope, not at the moment.
Gotcha. Me neither. Girls stink.
I agree.
All right.
Oh, Mac left.
Did he?
Maybe he'll be back.
All right. Okay. The other thing that I think we should have on hand real fast, hopefully we all remember pretty well our kind of annotated bibliography and the studies we found and things like that. I'm gonna also include, I'm just gonna copy and paste the research questions at the top. So if you need to refer to the research questions, they're at the top of the document. Okay. Which, by the way, we also got 100% on, so well done. Okay.
Nice.
Awesome.
All right, so let's go through. And so our goal is to come up with some kind of sampling method that will answer the questions, our research questions. So let's look at simple random sampling to start off. And take a moment to read through the paragraph, and then let's talk about it.
I personally really like simple random sampling.
Is it simple?
It's simple and it covers a big area, and you're not you're getting a variety of people.
All right, so do we all understand what simple random sampling is now?
Yeah.
It's basically just we're assuming everything's uniform, so we just randomly select from like a hat, something. So, and it's like a eeny, meeny, miny, mo type of thing, except for it's different from systematic sampling in that systematic sampling is like every 9th person we interview that comes through, you know, something like that. So simple random sampling, is this method possible in our situation? What do you guys think?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Says Common characteristics in all cases. So BYUI students, right?
Yeah. My only concerned about a diverse population. So there is my one concern with it is that BYU Idaho does have a lot of different kinds of people in it. So a simple random sampling wouldn't take that into account. That's my only concern. Can we achieve a good sample and limit the potential bias by using this sampling method? So first question, can we achieve a good sample? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can have a good sample. Can we limit the potential bias by using this sampling method? Yeah. Well, it would limit our bias. Well, I don't know. That's kind of a gray area for me.
Well, it's just kind of random. So, I mean, I don't know if there's bias necessarily, is there?
I mean, who we choose? How do we choose? How would we choose?
Well, when you say, I think when you tell the whoever at BYUI that you want to do this, they'll send out a survey to specific people, and it's just a random group of people they send it to. It's not
Gotcha.
any specific. When I did biostats, we did a study similar to this, and that's what happened.
So ideas for how this would work for applying this one, you said just sending out the emails?
I believe the school has a program and they send it out.
Gotcha.
They approve it and send it.
Okay. Is there another way that we could use simple random sampling for this? That makes sense. Like, is there another way to do simple random sampling that would work for our objective?
Have people fill it out when they're in the crossroads?
Yeah, is that simple random?
Well, you're not.
Pick names from a hat or for samples from large populations, assigning a number to each case on the sampling frame using random numbers. I don't know if we could do that. We could do simple random. I think the only way to really do simple random is the sending emails through the university.
Okay.
What are your thoughts, Landon?
Yeah, I think emails is the way to do it.
Okay, perfect. Eliminate bias. All right. Do we want to use this method instead of another? If so, why this method over another? We haven't seen the other methods yet, so let's move on. Okay, now let's go to systematic sampling. So how could we apply systematic sampling in our research? Oh, we could. Every nth person to walk into a certain building. We can do that. Any other ideas you guys have?
I think that pretty much covers it with that one.
Okay. Can we achieve a good sample size and limit the potential bias? I would say so. What do you guys think?
I think there could be some bias depending on what building you're in.
Oh yeah. Could have, but sample size would be fine.
Oh yeah, I think sample size would be fine.
Possible bias based on building. Anything else? All right. Do we want to use this method instead of another? If so, why this method over another method? Okay, here's some thoughts I had. I kind of do like this method a little bit. If we were to do it on campus, the reason why I like this one a little more than email is because emails, I talked with a guy about sending out email surveys, and you're not guaranteed to get a good sample size. So the amount of people that actually respond to the emails, oh, that's a possible form of bias.
You know, when we did that other one, we actually had, I think they sent out like 200 or 300 surveys, and we literally got back like 40. So the odds are great of getting enough back.
What was that?
When we did it before, we did send out like 200 or 300 surveys and emails, and we only got like 40 of them back. So it was barely big enough to get enough of a sample.
Yeah. So that's a concern to me a little bit. So I think that is a pro, or it might produce a larger sample size than simple random sampling, and also eliminate the bias of those who take surveys. So like, I don't know if there's a certain characteristic of the person that actually spends the time to answer those survey requests from BYU Idaho, but my guess is you're not getting a lot of people who are busy, so maybe that's a bias. Any other thoughts on that? I could not spell the word eliminate. It's really rough. Okay. Any other thoughts, guys?
I think you pretty much covered it. I like what you said about people being busy with the emails. It's true.
It's like I've never responded to, I think maybe I've responded to one survey in my whole career.
Yeah, I don't even think I've done that.
But like, yeah, I just am curious about who actually does respond to those.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know if they're a representative of the whole school. Okay, let's go on to any other things to add to systematic sampling.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, let's go to simple stratified sampling.
That one seems pretty complex for our study.
I kind of like it though. We could combine that one with the simple stratified in the form of, or systematic sampling. We could combine that with the systematic sampling. So each building kind of represents a different major, right? So we could do every nth person from different buildings. So does that make sense? So we do it every ninth person at the chemistry, every ninth person at the Hinckley, every ninth person at the Benson, every ninth person at the life sciences, and that might produce, or that might eliminate the bias that we were worried about based on building. And it would also incorporate, if we only do a specific number from each building, it would probably equal out for each major as well.
think we may have to decide how many majors we're going to include in this. It's going to be hard to include all of them. So I think maybe this one might help us to narrow down specific majors that we choose.
Agreed. Oh yeah.
Because I think, I mean, we can't, however many majors they have up here, we can't sample all of them. And then if we send out a survey, we might get 1 automotive and 3 something else. You know, so I think we kind of need to narrow it down to specific majors. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So what would you call, what would you guys call, what kind of sampling would it be if you were to divide it by building? Is that simple stratified or is that something else?
I think it's simple stratified.
It's just simple stratified, just a little complex. Or no, it is simple stratified?
I think so. Reading here, with the presence of distinctly different strata in a population.
Because you could definitely do like what Debbie was saying is we could choose different majors and then like take 30 students from each major or whatever. But you also like, I'm not sure how that would be really hard to do. I'm not sure how we could coordinate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be hard.
I think we're going to have to pick like 3 or 4 specific majors and target those.
I don't know if we can pick majors specifically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, how are we going to know who's in what major, and how are we going to get a random sample if we do know who's in what major?
So can't we just like go to the crossroads and like on our survey have a question that asks what major they are?
Yeah, definitely. And so I was thinking that would be really good. And what if we just included a question like that, and then we could do simple stratified sampling in that we do different buildings, right? We could go to different buildings that are associated with different majors. And I'm kind of hesitant to do crossroads because at the crossroads, I'm afraid we're going to get a lot of younger students and not a lot of older. I think there's a trend towards people going to the crossroads. A lot of freshmen and sophomores are using dining dollars and stuff. I don't know how much of the older population are using the crossroads. You know what I mean?
I've like never been to I've been to the crossroads like 5 times, so.
Yeah. So that would be a bias. Our population would be largely younger people if we did that. If we wanted a good representation of UIU Idaho, I don't know if Crossroads is the best. Although I think that if you're on campus, you have to go to your building with your classes. And buildings are associated by majors. So it could be a way of getting our majors while also making sure that we have varied responses.
What if we did this during devotional or as they're leaving devotional?
Devotional?
Had them do surveys after devotional.
I think that could work. I think that definitely could work.
Then we're going to get a variety of people. And they're all going to be in one place.
I think that'd be a good idea.
We should write these ideas down. All right. All right, I'm just going to include it down here. So ideas. Our first idea was the email, right? Second idea was different buildings. And our third idea, buildings with every nth. Ooh. Okay. And then the last one was devotional. I just thought of a problem with the devotional one. How would we handle, because it's like a flood after devotional. Did you want to do it before devotional or did you want to do it after devotional?
Either one. No, you're right. Yeah, before might be better.
Before might work. I don't know if after will, simply because after it's going to be a flood. It's going to be crazy. Unleash the gates.
I've actually never been to devotional, so I wouldn't know.
But I feel devotional would be a good sampling area. Yeah, I really like it. If we did devotional before, would it be possible to do the every ninth person or so?
It would make it a little harder.
As opposed to what? What were you thinking?
As opposed to just grabbing whoever would come along that would do it, that would be willing to participate.
See, that's the problem, is it introduces bias. Because you might like, I don't know.
I wonder.
I might like attractive redheads, you know, and so I only pull aside attractive redheads.
So what if we had like, a desk or a table set up with like candy or something, and they come to us?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Although the candy might not be a good idea for our survey discussing nutrition.
Yeah, but I mean like some type of incentive for them to
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay. All right. Let's keep ideas flowing, but we'll keep working through the different sampling techniques and maybe we'll come up with more ideas as we go. All right. So that was, we were on simple stratified. What were we on? Yeah. Okay. Is this method possible in our situation? Yes, we could use buildings. Buildings that correspond to majors. Majors, perfect. Can achieve a good sample.
Let me mute this.
Any problem with that idea, guys?
You know homework? Yeah.
Stratified.
Got a class meeting.
Any problems with the simple stratified you were asking?
Yeah, a bias.
Um,
I think we could achieve a good sample.
yeah.
I can't think of any other possible bias.
If we only picked like a certain amount of buildings.
Oh yeah. Restricted to the buildings we choose. Okay. So there is that bias. Okay. All right. Do we want to use this method instead of another? If so, why this method over another method? My immediate thoughts is that I like this better than the crossroads. I think it would lead to less bias than the crossroads. There is the problem with choosing what buildings, and I guess another problem is that it's more work. takes more time and effort. Another idea that I had was like depending on the time of day, there could be bias.
Yeah, probably not as much bias, but there's probably a little bit.
Anything else for that guy?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, let's go on to proportional stratified sampling. The only way that I can think of that is like we could do it by freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Yeah. I don't know how much I like that one.
I don't like it at all. But what other strata is there at a university? Oh wait, it gives an example right there. It says
major.
a university in which the proportion of the students studying arts and sciences is 61% and 39% respectively. Oh, we could do something like that. For example, with sex, if we know what percentage is female, what percentage is male, then we can calculate, okay, we only need to ask this many male and this many female. I think that's what it's referring to. But I don't know if I like it.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a lot of additional work to me.
And I don't know why. I don't know what it would benefit us by doing it that way.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not super excited about proportional stratified sampling. Anybody have any comments on it?
Well, it's just me and you, it looks like. But
What happened to Debbie?
I don't know. I think she had someone come over or something, but I'm not a fan of it.
Okay. All right. Let's look at cluster sampling. This is an example of devotional.
Yeah. Like exactly. Huh.
Samples are subsequently obtained from each of these segments using one of the, yep. This is both the different buildings and the devotional one.
Yeah. Exactly what we were talking about.
So it's definitely possible. Yes. Yes, indeed. Indeed. And our ideas were devotional, and we also had different buildings. Buildings corresponding to majors. Okay. Can we achieve a good sample and limit the potential bias? So the good sample is problematic. Problematic after. Before you have a bias of, okay, good sample is problematic after. Potential bias, things that come to mind are if you did before, then you are looking at those who plan ahead. You know, the people that like go to devotional 30 minutes early
Yeah.
versus the ones that run in last minute. Plan ahead. That's the only the bias I can think of. You got any other biases?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Spirituality.
Yeah.
We would hope that, but that should equal out across the board. Unless there is a connection between studying business and being an atheist.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say with spirituality because I mean, you don't know who's going to devotional
Yeah.
like that particular week, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be like somebody's first time going.
Yeah, I think it would equal out.
And a lot of people go to sit next to like a cute girl or something, you know, they don't go for maybe not a lot of people, but I know that there's some people that go for that, you know?
Yeah.
So it probably balances out pretty well.
Yeah. Do you feel it would work? I'm just a little worried about time frame on that too.
The with the surveying at the devotional.
Yeah, so let's say the survey takes 15 minutes.
Uh-huh.
You might make people late for devotional.
I think you'd have to do it after almost. Or we could do it before and after, really.
Yeah.
You think it would take 15 minutes?
It like that's the extreme probably. It shouldn't take them that long. But I'm just thinking about how we would actually do it.
Because if we could make it like 5 minutes, I mean, then that wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah. So these are things to consider. If we do choose this method, that means our survey questions have to be few, but really good.
Yeah. Which I mean, I think is what we're supposed to do, right? Keep it short and sweet.
If we do this too, we can't do every nth, one. We just have to do as many people as we can hand a piece of paper to.
Or however many people come to us.
That's true. That's true. If we did like the table idea, that could work. That could work. Yeah. All right. Do we want to use this method instead of another? If so, why this method over another? We feel it would eliminate the most bias. Amount of bias and create a good sample size. Anything else you want to add?
I think that pretty much covers it.
Okay. All right, last one, multi-stage cluster sampling. That sounds like it's complicated.
Extension of cluster sampling, more clusters of. Yeah, that does sound.
Is this method possible in our situation? Probably not. If I understood it completely, it might my current grasp of it, no.
Yeah, that sounds pretty complicated.
The idea was that for example, you might take a random sample from all universities. Okay, so let's say I have like 20 universities and I do a sample of those 20. I only choose 3 of those universities. Then within those 3 universities, I do a random sample from subjects. So I say, okay, randomly choose from each one nutrition or whatever. Within those, and then within within those majors, different modules. That sounds. I don't know how that would apply to ours.
Yeah.
I think it's excessive. Excessive. I don't know how to spell excessive. Excessive. Hey, that's right, sucker. It's excessive for what we're trying to do. Okay. Give a good sample size. Probably not. We're just gonna ignore those. Okay, cool. That was step 2. We're done with step 2. Okay. Step 3. Now discuss and identify your sampling frame with your group. Remember, a population is not defined by geographic boundaries alone. There are many subpopulations or groups in a larger geographic location that you may be interested in studying, such as religious groups, age groups, individuals of a specific educational attainment, people who participate in a specific activity, and many others. A good first step towards defining your sample frame is to brainstorm some possibilities and ask yourself which factors are imperative to your research population. These factors may or may not include age, race, ethnicity, education level, competency at a specific activity, religion, neighborhood, or city, socioeconomic status, how much money they make or have, mobility or work experience. There also may be other factors which are important for your group's research study. Your group's sampling frame should be specific enough to identify the population for your study, but not so strict that your results can only be extended to a very specific and small population. Remember, you want to be able to generalize your results, but you also want to control for external factors that might influence your results erroneously. Ooh. I just had another idea. If we did do devotional, sometimes you get people who go there who aren't even students. Like you get faculty, you get, other people that go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So include a question like, "Are you a student?"
Or we could like ask them before they even take the survey if they're a student.
Yeah. Yeah. But then we have a bias for liars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who'd be going to devotional and lying that they're a student, but it's possible.
Could happen. All right, cool. So, okay, what is our sampling frame? I'm not even sure what it's looking for with that. Sampling size, yeah. So obviously we want to get as much as we can. Sampling frame. Amount. We need a good sample size of different majors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need at least like 30 from each major if we want to be able to do any kind of analysis on it. If I remember right from biostats, 30 was like the magic number, right?
Yeah, I think it was 20 or 30.
So I think Okay.
For this though, does it have to be that much, you think?
What?
For this like study that we're doing, do you think it has to be as much as 30 per major?
I don't know. I'm just trying to play it safe. But I'm thinking to try and counteract that, we can divide up the majors into their colleges and just do it by college.
Yeah.
So we can ask them their major and then see what college that falls under.
Yeah, that'd probably be a better idea.
Hey, I'm back. Sorry, guys.
All right.
I just got one group left, and somebody else came up the sidewalk. So.
Colleges and departments. Let's see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 colleges. 7.
Well, less than majors, so
What?
that's a lot less amount than specific majors.
Yeah. 7, and then you're gonna have 7 times 30, which is 2100 or 210. So we need to have 210. But then again, there's no way to guarantee that we're gonna get shoot. The one concern that just popped up for me is that there's no way to do like a random sampling of it and have it make sure that you're getting 30 from each major. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, as long as we get enough from each and then we examine the trends within those colleges or whatever,
Yeah.
I think it would suffice.
What do you mean? Are you saying we could have less than 30 from one college?
Well, we'd probably have to ask her, like, if we really need 30 from each college. But I mean, if we do, then I mean, we could just focus, like, if we don't have 30, maybe we could go back and just try to get 30 of a certain college. And I mean, if we have more than like more for one college than another, I think if we have enough for each college, like whatever the magic number is, then I think we'll be able to examine the trends with each. Does that make sense?
I think so. Say it one more time, Landon. Sorry.
So I just think like if we have enough like from each to a certain extent, then we will be able to examine like the certain trends within those colleges. Because I mean, there's a lot of studies like this where they don't have perfect like
Yeah.
amount from each, you know.
So you're saying we can slough it a bit?
Yeah, and I think researchers pretty much do and stuff like this. They just make sure they have enough from each, and then they examine the trends.
All right. So then let's just. What if we just shoot for a sample size of 250?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I mean, we might have to like go to a couple devotionals if we're doing the devotional idea and try to. So I don't know if we could get that all in one, you know.
Yeah. So I was thinking each of us could have a different table next to a different door going out. There's 5 of us. Or I guess let's do it by door. by door, there's 1 big door, 2 big door, 3 big door, 4. I know of like 4 big doors, right? There was the one down at the bottom, there's the 2 up top, and then there's the one on the side. So if you're taking 250 divided by 4.
You guys, I do have a problem. I work Monday through Friday, 9 hours a day.
Yeah. So it would have to be me, Landon, Lucy, and Mac. So that would work.
I would thoroughly make you guys dinner when this class is over if you guys would do that.
So it looks like each table needs 60 people to take a survey. I don't know. I don't think that's too bad. If we did 2 devos, then it would only be 30 each.
Mm-hmm.
You think we'll get that many?
Yeah, I definitely think that's doable. I think as if we do the passive just at a table type of thing, then people can just come up and do it. But we may need an incentive.
I can like buy the treats or something.
I mean, incentives would definitely draw people to do the surveys. If we didn't have an incentive, then it might be hard to get 60. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The only problem that I have with an incentive is that usually they're treats and our topic is on nutrition, so it's going to have a definite bias introduced there. So we can search Amazon for knickknacks.
Well, I mean, like even like little erasers or something.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, go to Oriental Trading.
Oriental Trading.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got knickknacks.
They got lots of stuff. It's and it all comes in bulk. Well, most of it.
Or like stickers or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know there's a package on Amazon where you can get like a ton of stickers for super cheap.
They got spinach fidget spinners. Although it's $1 per piece. That's a lot. That's $250 right there.
That'd be a good incentive though.
Yeah.
But I mean that's expensive, so.
Oh, dude, check it out. Mega Deluxe toy assortment, 250 pieces, the exact amount we need for $30.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
What kind of stuff is in it?
They got the weird little hand clappers. They have like glasses with a mustache. They have fake money. They've got the weird little snake things. They got slinkies, magnifying glass, jacks. Looks like vampire teeth. Is that a wand? There's a wand there. Oh no, it's one of those things where you like flick them in it. Goes out, tops.
What we could do is we could like put something like that like in a hat or something, or like in a bag that's covered. Yeah. Say if you take this survey, then you can pick a random toy from this thing.
That'd work. That'd be perfect. Yeah, that'd work. We could also include candy, just as long as we include another incentive. I think it'd be fine. Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Cool.
$30 divided by 5. Looking at $6 each.
Yep.
Maybe I can do that where you guys are gonna have to man the tables. Then I can be doing something.
Okay.
You want to send me a link to that?
Sure.
Thank you.
Do you want it emailed to you?
Yes, please.
Debbie. But hold off buying it until we finalize stuff.
Okay, I will.
All right. It was sent to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, way to overcome hurdles. Okay. So, let's see. We're looking at now discuss and identify your sampling frame with your group. Remember, a population is not defined by geographic boundaries alone. Oh yeah, sampling frame. Sampling frame was defined as I just read this. Where did I read this? I think sampling or framework is just saying population, if I remember right. There it is, sampling frame. Population is a collective term used to describe a total quantity of things or cases of the type which is the subject of your study. So population can consist of objects, people, or even events. A complete list of cases in a population is called a sampling frame. So our sampling frame is BYUI college students, right?
Correct.
Let's see, we're looking at, remember, a population is not defined by geographic boundaries alone. There are many subpopulation groups in a larger geographic that you may be interested in studying, such as religious groups, age groups, individuals. A good first step towards defining your sampling frame is to brainstorm some possibilities and ask yourself which factors are imperative to your research population. These factors may or may not include age, race, ethnicity, education level, competency in a specific area, activity, religion, neighborhood, or cities, blah, 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 blah. Your group sampling frame should be specific enough to identify the population for your study, but not so strict that your results can only be extended to a very specific and small population. So, do we need to go more specific than just BYUI college students?
I don't think so.
All right, just so okay, so let's move on to step 4. View the rubric at the bottom of the page and read through the assignment criteria. Work together to write up the methods and framework section of your research project. Your group's completed assignment will be 2 or 3 well-written paragraphs stating your sampling frame, method, and justification of your choices. Explain why the sampling frame you define is useful for your particular purposes. Don't assume it is obvious. Explain why your method is a better choice for your study than a more random process. Be sure to include the study design you are using, the group you are studying, and a recipe for how you plan to go about collecting the information you need. Use good writing communication skills to explain your decisions. All right. let's just create an outline real fast of our paper then. If you guys are good for that.
So when is this assignment due?
This assignment is due next week on Wednesday. They suggest that we get it done by Saturday this week.
Okay.
All right, so we have 3 paragraphs. All right, and we have to answer, explain why the sampling frame is useful, why the method is the best choice, and also study design, group, with the study design you are using, the group you are studying, and a recipe for how you go about collecting. Group studying, recipe for collecting information. Perfect. So those are the 3 things we need to include. What if we did 1 paragraph on the sampling frame and method, another paragraph on study design and group studying, and a third on recipe for collecting information?
Sure.
Sure. Why not? What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
I do have to take off here soon. I have to go get my little sister, but
Okay.
it's not due until Wednesday then.
Yeah. Let's call it. How about this? We'll call it for tonight. Friday, if we can come together just for a moment to assign writing sections for the 3 paragraphs. And then Monday, and then so we can work over it over the weekend. Then Monday we come together to revise, make sure it looks good, and then we turn it in that night, or we can do some serious revisions and turn it in by Wednesday when it's due.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
Okay. So well done, team. Let's hope that the other guys can join us on Friday.
Hope so.
Okay, me too. Friday, 5:30.
Friday, 5:30.
All
Okay.
right. I'll see you guys then.
Sounds good, guys. See ya.
Yep.